This is the Meuse Argonne Memorial for the largest American battle in history. The World War I battle was fought from September 26, 1918 until the armistice of November 11th, 1918, a total of 47 days. It is also the deadliest campaign in the history of the United States Army, resulting in over 350,000 casualties. So 12th century church turned into German bunkers during World War I. Was this church intact, being used before World War I?
Before? Yes. Mm-hmm. So actually it's pretty representative of all the hills. In World War I, at the beginning, especially, the planes were not good enough. So when you wanted to see far, you needed to take control of a hill.
Sure.
So what they did most of the time is they bombed the hill and then they took control of it. And pretty regularly on top of the hill there used to be a village, and in the center of the village the church. So here only the church is left. All the houses that were around have been destroyed. And here they decided to rebuild the village down the hill.
Okay.
So it's a bit 500 meters this way. They rebuilt the... But you must imagine that there used to be streets all around, and the village was here. That's why you have the cemetery here. Still.
Okay. Wow.
I told you about the symmetry in World War I. Many things are symmetrical. You can compare the German advance at the very beginning of the Battle of Verdun. They did so quick, 8 kilometers in 4 days. The Americans did 10 kilometers the very first day.
All right.
So they launched their offensive on the morning of the 26th September, and they arrived here in the evening.
Really?
And that was the first difficulty that they faced, the American troops. It was so well defended with all those bunkers around that they could not grab the hill in the evening. And you have this little story with Captain Patton. He was leading a tank battalion, and the Germans destroyed all the tanks one after the other. So there is a sign there that tells this story, and it's funny the way they say that Patton was pissed off.
Yeah, sure,
because he saw all his engines destroyed one after the other. He woke up very early the next morning, the 27th, and he woke up all the soldiers that he thought would be not crazy enough, but brave enough, let's say, to go up the hill. And they say Patton attacked in the pure Western tradition, and he had two ivory... he had two guns with ivory handle.
Yes.
And they say he had varnished boots, very important. The style is very important. And he went up the hill like this.
Yeah, I'm saying probably bullshit.
Probably. But it worked. I mean, they grabbed the hill here. They took the hill.
Maybe
the
he
next
did.
day.
He was fearless, they say.
Yeah.
Like during attack, he would not run or hide or anything.
I don't know if you can read it.
What is this one?
Erected in memory of the glorious dead of the 315th Infantry USA.
I see it. Yep. Wow.
So I read that they paid for the building. You know, it's a common house.
It's somebody's house?
No, it's a common house. Like young people can come here.
Oh, right.
I don't know what.
Like a community
house? For special occasion.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So here it's going down.
Right here.
So it used to be the same at the end of World War I. You have this farm in the distance. It's called La Madeleine Farm.
Okay.
And it was used by existed in World War One, and it was full of German machine guns. So it was extremely difficult here for the Americans to go down
Right.
in front of those woods. They were completely slaughtered by German machine guns.
Oh, that's
So
not good.
they were stuck nearly like 10 days right here.
Really?
And they had to send more divisions to help them. And finally they got rid of the American machine guns, German machine guns.
Right here.
Right here, yeah. And so apparently that used to be a German hospital. I wanted to show you this. So this is the last kind of memorials.
Wait. What kind?
It's a division memorial.
Oh, okay.
So the red thing, the red square, it's called in English, in American, the Red Diamond Division.
Right.
So it's the 5th Division.
Oh, that's an American monument?
Yeah, it's American. So contrary to the federal monuments, which is paid for by America, and the state monuments, who is paid for by the state of Pennsylvania, for instance, and they still pay today, that was paid by the soldiers belonging to the 5th Division themselves.
Really?
And since they paid at the end of World War One, nobody pays anymore. So it's not maintained. They don't take care of it. So there used to be many, and today there are something like 20 still in the region. So if we drove, I could show you many more.
I should come over here and paint those things.
In paint?
Or paint them. Or maintain them.
Yeah, so I've seen some that in the most worse shape.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's the people from the village that come here, and sometimes they give a little
Okay.
paint. So that's why it's in a pretty good shape.